Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Come along with me as we put up our family gallery wall. I went with gold frames instead of the trending black and white themes, and that's purely based on the fact that gold is currently the aesthetic that I'm going for in my house. We purchased this picture light from Takealot, and as you can see, it doesn't come with a remote control, so we kind of had to connect it to the power source. What you saw here is some of the images that I selected from our respective family shoots, and we framed them in gold frames that we picked up from our local China mall. My husband and I meticulously measured up the wall, and we wanted to make sure that we had just the correct amount of spacing between each picture. I didn't have all of our images in portrait. Some of them were in landscape, and therefore I had to work out a design that would accommodate both these types of scenarios. So what we went with was, of course, the first line was in a landscape, and then the second line was in portrait, and then we finished off with the third line in landscape, and it fitted perfectly on the wall that I had in mind. My husband went ahead and drilled some holes to attach the picture light. The picture light is quite perfect. The light is nice and bright. He connected it to the main source. I would have definitely preferred it to kind of be remote controlled. That would have made it easier to kind of select when I want it on and off. However, with this particular one, it switches on automatically when we switch on the lights in the living room, and off when we switch them off, which isn't a train smash. But yeah, that's the downside to consider. This particular one was picked up from Takealot, and it retailed for just under $1,000. We had some fun doing this as a family. As you can see me goofing around with the drill. Never give a girl power tools. My poor husband, he just has to sit there and watch me go wild. Anyways, he was just kind of gathering all of his respective tools, and as you can see, there's a lot of measuring that goes into this. You have to make sure that it is straight. You have to make sure that the screws are attached properly to the wall, otherwise stuff might come tumbling down. And over here we were of course doing the testing, and voila, with the flick of a switch, it comes right on. And right now my husband was just making the measurements to make sure that of course the pictures would be exactly where we had marked, and he went ahead and he started to hang them on the wall, one image at a time. If you are wondering, guys, you can get printouts at any photo shop. These are easily accessible in most of the shopping malls. We went to Kodak, and I had mine printed out in A4 size, and I went for the matte finish simply because I like how the color balancing works out on the matte finish as opposed to the glossy finish. But of course, that is entirely up to you in terms of preference. As I said, my husband was making sure that everything was lined up correctly, was going in with the level to make sure that everything was nice and straight, so that we wouldn't run the risk of having the spacings in between kind of look different. He then went ahead and started to hang the second line, and of course, as I mentioned, this was in the portrait side of life, and he hung all three images. And then thereafter he would go on to hang, of course, the final row, which would also be in the landscape mode. It was very funny for us to kind of look back on these images, because as you can see, our baby daughter features in almost all of the images, even the ones where she's still baking inside of me. So this gallery wall was essentially all about her. Let me know if you're interested in the photographer's name. You would have to be based in Cape Town though. I'll definitely be more than willing to share. She did both my maternity shoot as well as our family shoot. And as you can see, this is how it came out. Absolutely love how it turned out. It is a beautiful feature wall, and I do hope you enjoyed this little video of our family gallery wall. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video.